With me today is Christina, and we are the managers of TaxBandits. And thank you for tuning in with us again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as a quick reminder, before we get started, we have years and years of experience. We love to talk about tax forms, but we are not tax advisors. So as always, if you do have any specific questions or need tax advice, we definitely recommend reaching out to a certified preparer or the IRS directly.
And today we're going to talk about how TaxBandits makes Form 941 e-filing easier and faster for Q3, which is now. So you can streamline yours and your clients' quarterly reporting.
Absolutely. We have several different things that we want to touch on today to just dive into how easy it is, how simple it is. The first thing that I want to touch on, which is a big part of it, is we have a new filing process or a new filing flow in the application. If anyone watching has used TaxBandits before, it is still similar. It's not an entirely different process.
Right.
It's just simplified. It's cleaner. It's more intuitive.
Yes.
So we've enhanced some things to make it an easier filing process for you and for your clients' business, like as you file for them throughout the season. So
Exactly.
I'm really excited about that new filing flow. And I think one of the really interesting things is that option to copy a return on that new filing flow.
Yes, I love that, because that way, if nothing really has changed in your quarterly filing or your
quarter to the next is pretty similar.
Exactly.
Usually.
So we have this copy and paste feature. It's brand new, starting last quarter, and there's a button on there that says copy from previous return, and you click that and it'll copy the information from last quarter, your last quarter accepted return, and put it in this one. As you go through, you can update anything that might have changed. And that way you don't have to refill out the entire form. It does it for you.
It makes e-filing even easier.
Imagine that.
So pretty exciting, though. Definitely a cool feature to take advantage of, because you're right. So many things will be the same from one quarter to the next.
Exactly.
And we actually will go ahead and have a video. We'll just show you what that looks like, so that you know what to look for when you go into your account.
Definitely. Enjoy.
Then select the business that you previously filed for from this dropdown. Then under the appropriate quarter, click the Copy Previous button. Then check over the information to be copied, then click Copy Return. Consent that you have authority to file this return by checking the box and then entering the business name and click I consent. Then check the info again and click Continue. If there are any errors in the return, you can click Fix Me to fix the errors and you will be taken to the return. Then just carry on through the form, clicking Save and Continue. Then complete the IRS refund consent by checking the box and entering your name and social security number. Or, if you need to make payments, choose your payment method. Then click Save and Continue. Check the summary over and click Continue. You will now be taken to the audit page. If there are still errors, you can fix them. When all errors are fixed, continue to the signature. Now enter your online signature PIN or e-sign Form 8453 EMP. Then add any text or fax notifications you want and click Continue. Then click Complete Filing. Now agree to the payment terms and click Continue. Then enter your payment information, check the box, and click Pay and Transmit. And that's it.
Okay, so now everyone that has not used TaxBandits before has had a chance to see what it looks like, and anyone that has gotten to get an idea of what that new enhanced filing process looks like. One of the things that I wanted to touch on that I think is really, really cool when e-filing especially, and that we've put a focus on, is being able to put your line 12 and 13 amounts in.
Absolutely. Don't forget those.
Exactly. And really, that sort of breaks down into most of the amounts on the form.
Pretty much. Because
I know so many companies out there have had to transition from paper filing. And when you're paper filing, there's a lot of math that you just have to do and double check. So you're probably doing it 2 or 3 times. And with TaxBandits, you plug in the numbers that are required, but we actually auto-calculate a lot of those values that are just mathematical equations happening. So you can just double check your initial numbers, and then you know that the math on there is accurate.
Exactly.
And then those things are totaling into your line 12 on tax liability.
Exactly.
So that is super efficient, very helpful. And then I know one of your favorite things is that then you get to put the deposit amount on line 13.
Yes, so the deposit amounts go on line 13, and our intuitive system uses line 12 and 13 to decide, or help you figure out what your taxes due or your overpayment will be.
Yeah, or if you happen to have a zero balance, but we're going to account for
the zero is always awesome.
But you're absolutely right. It's automatically calculating that. You don't have. There's no guessing or hoping involved. It's just there for you.
Exactly.
And then on that same note, Schedule B is something I know a lot of companies have to deal with, and that if you want to tell us a little bit about why is it so topical when you're doing the Schedule B with the 941?
Absolutely. So semi-weekly depositors, if you are on that schedule, you have a specific schedule that you're supposed to be putting your deposits, your tax deposits into, turning them into the IRS. So on there, that's where you're going to list those. And it gets confused because a lot of folks think that they're supposed to put their deposits on Schedule B. It's actually asking for the liability. So it doesn't matter when or what amount you paid, it matters what the liability due was at that time. And so that's what it's asking for, and it needs to equal what the entire liability was at the bottom, not what you deposited.
That line 12 amount, because that's what Schedule B is designed for. And when you look at the actual schedule, it says it, but it says so many things.
It says a lot.
It does. So one of the things that we have in place in TaxBandits to help with making sure that you're not making that mistake when you go to file is line 12 is automatically compared to the total of your Schedule B. So to your point, if you've included the deposits on Schedule B, it's actually going to flag it and tell you that it doesn't match, and you're able to adjust it and double check your records, but you'll be able to continue once those two things balance out.
Exactly. And another form that you don't hear a whole lot about, but it is important quarterly, is the 941 Schedule R.
Definitely for the aggregate filers.
I know that there's not as many of those that need to be done as the regular 941, but it is still an important form. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that form is?
I'd love to. So definitely, like I mentioned, aggregate filers. I know typically it's filed by different entities like CPEOs or like 3504 agents. But for those entities that have to file it, the 941 itself usually acts more as like a cumulative form. And then on the Schedule R, it's sort of itemized by reporting entity details. So it's definitely got a lot more math involved than your standard 941. So again, the features that we have in TaxBandits are making it so much simpler. We're calculating that. We, even with the Schedule R, a big part of that is the Schedule R has to match the 941 in a sense, and a lot of those numbers have to balance out. And so in our application we have almost like a check and balance page set up, so it's going to show you what you have for each line based on what you can bulk upload with your Schedule R, because we're not expecting you to key all that in. You can upload it in one sheet one time, and then it's just going to show you what your amounts totals are for each of those lines versus the total that you've input for your 941.
Yes. And it clearly shows you if it's not equaling out as well. So you can fix it.
Exactly. Because it would be so much work to have to go through and do that
line by line, manually. It's just tedious and not a good time.
No, not a good time at all. and especially not 4 to 5 times a year.
Oh,
no.
Definitely not.
So having that page that's going to show you if there are any errors, if anything doesn't match, is fantastic. And then, like you said, you just kind of go back through and check and adjust as needed, check your records. But when that form balances out, you just keep filing like you typically would. So definitely cool feature for those that need it.
Definitely. And we're actually going to show you a quick video in the description, so you just want to look for that down there. And it'll kind of show you the flow and how to do that, Schedule R.
Now, another, something else that we've talked a lot about what we are flagging or auto-calculating or doing to help eliminate errors as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really, we want to make it easy and help you file as accurately as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things I really like that we do is the IRS has like a set list of business types, right?
They do.
And then the titles that can be listed as the signatory vary depending on the business type.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's not just kind of put what you want sort of a situation, especially with e-filing. Again, I know a lot of companies are usually, they're used to paper filing, but it's so time consuming and so tedious, and you don't get any kind of helpful update on the status of your form like you do when you e-file. So with e-filing, we're helping you ensure that one of the titles that you're choosing matches the business type that you've entered. So we actually have a drop down that will give you the list of available titles depending on the business type that you've selected. So that is definitely specific to the company. There's a whole list of different options, and it really depends on how you're internally handling things. But we are giving you the IRS acceptable options based on your type of entity.
Exactly.
To help, again, eliminate any errors as much as possible. So that's definitely something that I'm a fan of. I think it kind of answers questions that you might not even know to ask.
Right.
What is the next big time-saving or intuitive feature that you want to talk a little bit more about?
I think my favorite is probably the different signature types. So those are going to be based on the type of preparer that you are listed in your account. We have many different types, and you can go through and update your tax preparer account based on what type of preparer you are with your P10 and your EIN, your firm details, and your EFIN or your reporting agent number, just depending on which one you are. And then after you've done that, the forms are intuitive, like you said, and they will populate the signature type based on what you have set up as your tax preparer type.
Definitely. So if you've indicated that you are like a CPA, for example, you get prompted to complete the 8453 EMP. And we even have it set up so that when filing for clients, not only do you get to e-sign it, but you're able to easily send it to your clients to e-sign. So it's really easy. It's not something that you're having to download and send separately, and it just all happens right there in your account. Exactly.
And a brand new feature that we just started this quarter was the multi-sign. So you can send your 8453s to all of your clients at one time. They can sign them when they get them done. And then the better part is you sign all of them at one time. You don't have to do it 150 different times.
And you're not having to scroll through and sign each of them. You just sign, you pick that you want to apply your signature to all of them.
It
you
is
can always
such a good
review
feature.
it, but it saves so much time.
It does. It saves so much time. You don't have to go through individually as your recipients or your payers get done with their signature. You do it, and it just applies it to all of them.
Yep. And then you can send them all at one time, and they each just get the one that's for their business.
Exactly.
And so it's secure, it's easy to use, it's faster. And then as they sign, it'll update the status in your account so you know who signed.
Yeah.
And you're able to continue filing either for multiple clients at one time, you can do one at a time, you can do them all at a time. So it's very much depending on your workflow and what you need to file.
Definitely. And it makes things so quick and simple, and especially if you're on a time crunch. Who's got time to sign 150 forms?
Absolutely not.
Nobody.
It's much easier to just kind of spot check and review than it is to actually go in and
Exactly.
sign everything, so.
And with that, you've also got another great security feature that we like is the credits. So while it's not necessarily a security feature, it does work to help you keep your account secure.
Yeah, it's like an added layer of security.
Exactly, because you can purchase, as the admin, can purchase the credits for your account, And then your staff members can use those credits, and you don't have to have your credit card on there if that's how you have your business set up. You don't have to have the company card there and share it. You don't have to have a card out there for everybody else to see.
And you don't have to be the only one that's paying and transmitting every
absolutely.
time. But can you imagine, if you're trying to not distribute that, if it is your personal card or whatever it may be, you're able to add those credits, and then your team, your staff can just file, and it deducts a credit for every form that they file.
Exactly. And especially as December is coming up and you're getting ready for January, you can give yourself a little Christmas present, if you will. Go ahead, get those credits in there.
Yes.
And that way you don't have to think about that. It's done. Nobody's got anything to do with your money at that point.
And everything is set up so that when everybody's back from the holidays, there's no oh gosh, what did we need to do again? It's just good to go, and you can move forward.
And the larger firms who hire temporary folks to help file,
additional staff members.
They don't get that information so that you can keep it secure.
And for anyone that needs to file other forms like 1099s, W-2s, I know speaking of the season, I know there are a lot of deadlines right at the same time. So we have credit options for those forms as well. Yes. For any preparers out there that are filing not just the 941, but also the 940, 943, 44, 45, all the 94X series, if you will, those credits can be used for all of those forms. So you can you can buy 94X credits and file the 941, the 940, the 943, 44, 45, so on.
Right. Same with the 1099s. All the 1099s that we offer, you can use those credits for.
Exactly, and W-2s.
And
Same.
W-2s,
So
yes.
we kind of separate it by form series, if you will, and it just makes that process a lot easier. So as you're getting ready for the season, as you're updating that account before the holidays, good things to keep in mind. And we have some great videos and webinars on those other forms too.
Absolutely. Our team is constantly working on getting new videos out there with our updated flows and
all those updated features and enhancements.
Yes, showing you how to navigate and work and get through as seamlessly as possible.
Absolutely. And speaking of videos that our team has available, we'll actually go ahead and plug in a video right here of what the 94X credit process looks like, so you can see exactly where you'll go to do that to get set up for the season.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start with regular tax filing credits for regular tax forms. We also have BOI credits available, and I'll show you that later. So from your dashboard, you're going to click on the settings icon up here and select credits. Then you'll need to choose what kind of credits you need, either 1099 W-2 5498 forms, 94X forms, or ACA forms. Do 1099 today, and then you can add credits for federal e-filing, state e-filing, postal mailing domestically, postal mailing internationally, and online access. You'll find under this pricing button here a breakdown of the discounts that you get for each amount of credits that you purchase. So the more credits that you purchase, the cheaper each of those forms are. If you need bulk pricing for 2,000 or more credits, you can contact us at that number. Then we'll click Review Order. Then this will be your order summary. You can edit and add more forms here or continue and complete your order. Agree to our credit card usage statement. And add or choose an existing card. And click Pay. And now if you go back to the credits page and look under Credit History, you'll see that you have purchased those credits. You can view a receipt. And you'll see when you're completing your order, in this case I filed 2 1099s, that those credits have been applied. 2 for federal filing, 1 for state filing, and 1 for postal mailing. The only thing I'm paying for here is TIN matching and USPS address validation, which are not included in those credits. You'll just complete your order, and that's it. Now, if you want BOIR credits, we're going to navigate to the BOIR section of the account up here. Then you're going to click Add Credits up here. If you want a subscription plan that allows you to file unlimited filings for either 50 lifetime EINs or unlimited lifetime EINs for a year, you can choose either the Mini Bandito or Bandito package. You can see the prices there, and you will receive access to all Pro and Premium features. Now, if you're not ready for that and you just want to add a few filing credits, you can come over here and start adding credits. Once you get beyond 5 credits, you'll start to see discounts. So you can do one-time filing, annual filing, lifetime filing. Once you have all the credits that you want, go ahead and click continue. Acknowledge the credit card usage statement and add or enter a new card. Confirm that you have the authority to use that card and click pay. Now you'll see the available credits up here. You can also view more information over here, including available credits, used credits, a credits transaction report, and add more credits if you wish. Now when you reach the payment page of a BOI report, you'll see your total credits here, and when you select one, show remaining credits as 5, and you can also select a different thing. Then once it's applied, just click Submit to FinCEN, and that's it.
Okay, well, I think we've really hit home on, this is what is so beneficial about filing the 941 in TaxBandits, what to do to prepare for the season, and we've got a ton of content out there. If you do end up having questions about filing for your business or your client's business, we have a full support team here by phone, email, and chat. We'd love to help. I think that wraps us up for today.
I think it does. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and please leave any questions or comments in the comments box below, and if you haven't already, make sure you go and make your free TaxBandits account at taxbandits.com. Bye!